guys, it's me and Bailey here. Welcome back to our review for channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Anne Bailey and welcome back to our amazing, beautiful community. So today's video, I wanted to talk about a book series that made me such a big reader as a kid. And it's very important to me, this book series, so I get really excited talking about it, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail with this book series after, unless you guys are interested. And of course, this is not the only book that I read as a kid. I love dinosaur books, which is I still am very much a dinosaur person. I love dinosaurs. Anyway, that's okay, this is a fact about me that not too many people know. When I was actually younger, I wanted to be a paleontologist. No, not anymore. But, that was kind of an interesting fact. Anyway, that's nothing to do with this book series. So, this series is called Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. Oh my goodness. I love Goosebumps very much. So, this is the, called Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. I did read this as a kid. This is not from my childhood. This, is, when I got at a thrift store. And, wait, I just thought about something. You see this? This is Goofy, so this is me. I'm the Goofy character, and that's Shug. Because he looks like a bulldog, doesn't it? Me and Shug. We're in this book. So I don't actually remember exactly what this book was about. That's what it's about. But, as a kid, I used to read so many, Goosebumps. I was such a big Goosebumps girly. And I remember, the gnome one. I don't remember. The Attack on the Garden Gnomes, I think is what it's called. But, anything with Goosebumps, I was excited about. Anything with Goosebumps. I was such a huge Goosebumps girl. And I remember as well as a kid, of course, in general, Goosebumps speaks to me to this day. Because I love Halloween. I love spooky things like this. I have characters that are in my another book I'm writing, which I would just tell you a little bit about it because whatever. Remember on my channel, if you guys were watching my original videos, the character in Seeds of Ideas in Bookston, and then the book Gremlin. Halloween type of characters. I got the love of Halloween from my father from a really young age, and Goosebumps just called to me and enchanted me. And I remember when Slappy, I think that's his name is, came around, and he was never my necessarily favorite, but I really liked him as a kid as well. Not my favorite all the time, but and then we had the Vampire's Breath. That's a really good one. Anyway, so I really enjoyed Goosebumps as a kid, and I was really bullied really bad as a kid, and Goosebumps was my comfort book. Because, the reason I got, one of the main reasons I was bullied as a kid because of my dyslexia, and I didn't have the reading level like everyone else did. I was really behind. Of course, now, I would not be able to read certain, college stuff. Hell to the no. But, I'm up to, adult reading, adult reading means I can read, bigger words and stuff, of course. But I've always been kind of behind and stuff. And Goosebumps had some hard words as a kid. And it's crazy to think about that now, that there's some words I couldn't read as a kid. I can read this whole book without having to sound out, and it's just so, it just kind of gives me realization how much I've grown. And Goosebumps was just so fantastic. I loved it. I still do. I still love Goosebumps. I love it. And it was a fun read, and I was picked on for it too as a kid a little bit, because they're that's a boys book. Of course, nowadays we have girls, boys, they, thems. So, nowadays, I'm old. But back then, it had a little gender biased by certain things. But I love Goosebumps so much. I still do. And it's such a big part of my childhood. So, me being able to get Goosebumps back and stuff, gain a couple more, because I'm going to get a couple. I'm not going to collect them all. I'm just going to collect a lot of them that I really remember as a kid. And I remember that Goosebumps came out with Make Your Own Story one. So, they had different pages. You can go to different pages, you want this ending, or you want this to happen. So, you choose what happens. You have a choice. Let's just say you want to go save this person or not, or you want to be a vampire or not, or something like that, you can choose, and it's so fun. And I remember that it was shiny books. My mom and me always read them, And my mom always helped me read them as a kid, of course, but I just loved Goosebumps. And to this day, Goosebumps is always going to be part of my childhood. It's going to be part of me. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of speak about it. I know this is like a random video, me nerding, I guess you could say, over Goosebumps. But I just remember so much of this, and this gave me such a great part of my childhood. And Goosebumps is what really got me happy, you know what I mean, as a kid. And of course, like other things did, but Goosebumps was in like a toy line I used to play with, which is, still collect them, Monster High, all that stuff. And things like that made me happy. My inner child was happy. Me as a child and my inner child now, I guess I don't really have that much. But the thing is, it's just, it makes me so happy to think that Goosebumps was there part of my childhood. And I could skip away and run into a whole little fantasy and not have to worry about the real world once in a while. And that's just kind of, it made me love reading so much. So Goosebumps is what really made me a reader, and I'm forever going to be grateful for that. So yeah, that is the video about the book that made me into a book reader. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below, what book made you into reading? If you don't read, what made you happy as a kid? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget you're loved. You might have to do this if you need anything. I'm always here for you. I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day or night. See you guys next time. Bye, guys.